So look what I got here in my spare engines. I happen to have, in just the 3 spare engines I got, a Yards Machines 4 horsepower. This came off a 22 Kutch lawnmower. I remember getting this. The frame was absolutely rotted out and it was sitting beside a garbage dumpster at our local park. It's the same kind of engine, same kind of shaft. Oil is just pouring out of this thing. It was sitting wrong. So if it does ever run, it is going to smoke like the dickens. Same kind of carburetor type. I pulled the blade off this thing and it's the same kind of blade adapter as well with that star pattern. So this thing will bolt on as is. I just don't recall what parts I've taken out of this. One thing, this cover is missing the bolts. I sure like to keep that cover since it says Yard Machine, but I can always transfer this one, preferably without the screw hold. So this has got, I'm not going to transfer the hair wrapped around this crankshaft. This has got, what is it, 3, 4 bolts. If I can get to them, I'm just going to rip this engine right off. Ooh, that's got a new, fairly new looking foam air filter. That's good because I believe that carburetor I got is full of oil from the way it was sitting. Should be a pretty easy swap. Whether to run or not, I don't know. Cable should match up. Crankshaft for sure is straight on this. And there's the blade, brake. Hopefully all that matches up as it looks a little differently. Well, that's got a cover. Don't know if that ever had a cover. Should match up. Well, we're going to do a engine swap here. We're going to repower this bent crankshaft Yards Machine with this Yards Machine engine. And it's going to be interesting to see if it'll start. I'm going to take this engine off first. First thing I'm going to do is take off this blade brake cable and just disconnect the rope up here. 2 easy things, and then the bolts will come out. You know, I never did check to see if this thing had oil in it. I could have blew this engine up when I started the other day, but it does, surprisingly. Engine would be good for parts. Magnetos in particular, and the cover without the screw hole. So I got the rope disconnected, and this blade brake, this piece should just pop right off. Don't know if I can do this with the camera. I don't want to break this because that is a $12 part. It's about the only thing good left on here. Let me do that off camera and then the engine will be ready to come off. And there we go. I definitely did not want to break this piece because it just, I bought one for that Sears Craftsman and it was $12. It just kind of pops in this hole and you got to squeeze it to get out. Well, this hairball motor is ready to come off. Should have 4 1/2-inch bolts in the bottom. Blade's already off.